Welcome to another episode of Blue Table. My name is Jade, and today the topic is the M in marriage is money. With us, we have Adanna Bradshaw and Shane Wilson. Welcome, guys. It's a pleasure to have you on the show today. So we're discussing finances as it relates to marriage. Shane and Adanna have been married for approximately 2 years. And I think you guys are fitting for this discussion because we're focusing on, what decisions you should make or would like to make, or those discussions you should have prior to marriage or while you're still in that honeymoon phase, as I would like to say. So we're starting with something a little fun. And I just want to get a sense of, your roles within your marriage as it relates to money. So I just want you to point to each other. If it's Shane, Adanna, point to him. Adanna, if it's you can point to yourself or, whichever, sure. Whoever it is. So who is the spender? Okay. Who is the saver? All right. Who pays the bills? Both. Okay. Got it.
Both.
Okay, so who, should I say, spends money, based on their emotion? Like, I'm having a bad day today. I want to go and buy something fancy or a nice meal to make me feel better. Oh, Adanna, okay. I think you and I, we're similar. That's definitely me. Okay, so now we've warmed up a bit. For our chat, I want to start off by getting a sense of your experience or your journey through your childhood. So was money a taboo topic of discussion, or was it that it was something that you guys would discuss with your unique individual families? What was it like growing up as it relates to money?
I mean, I could start. For me, honestly, I grew up in a single parents home. So, we treated money as a very serious thing because, of course, she's the only parent that's bringing in income. So there was no splurging or any buying things that, you didn't need. It was mostly spending money based on necessities. So I did have an appreciation for not splurging. But as I grew older, becoming a teenager, seeing, my friends having these cool things, I kind of wanted those things too. So that was a little bit of a challenge to me in terms of not having resources to do so. It's funny. So every new year, when it's after the new year, I would always say I'm going to have this new year resolution to save money so I can buy the things that my friends have. And I would say, at least let me save $1. So at the end of the year, I'll have $365, right? And
that's smart.
By month two, honey, that's not even happening. It's like, I couldn't even make it to that. So growing up, saving for me was a challenge. Unfortunately, I didn't know what type of, how it was for Shane.
Yeah, so, like Adanna, I grew up in, I don't like in single family, but maybe I grew up with my mom, mostly present. Parents were divorced, and working with my mom, she had a lot of in terms of taking care of the house, she had a lot of stuff to do. So as we Trinity said, she always trying to make ends meet, and saving them was a big discussion we had growing up in terms of when you have money, try to save it as well as try to get as much value as you can from every dollar, So she is where I probably get my bargain buying. I would say from characteristics from, because she's the type of person that'll go and shop around and figure out where might have the cheapest sugar or where might have the best prices for chicken. And I think that's something that I have adopted in my adult life as well too, among other things, because in life you go through different seasons, and from my child, that was one thing in terms of money, that I took with me going through life.
So based on my experience growing up, I also came up in a single parent household. So my mom, she spearheaded that household. And for us, it was a matter of trying to make ends meet, trying to make sure you save, trying to make sure that, well, first of all, I couldn't go to her and ask for anything ridiculous because I knew the answer was right away going to be no. So I can definitely relate to what you would have been saying. So I just want to ask you now, based on this entire discussion, it's all about finances, but do you think that having a discussion before marriage is essential? Perhaps, and why? Why do you think it is, if you think it's essential to have that discussion?
So go ahead first,
And you can
ladies.
go ahead, baby.
Ladies first. Ladies first.
Okay, fine. So honestly, for me, it was very, very important to understand what you're going into, and I think being very transparent is very, very important. For us in our marriage, we have a lot of friends, relatives that go through a really tough time. And a lot of times when you talk to them, understand what's a tough thing in your marriage, it's because of finances, money. So I feel like before even going into that, the very important step, it's very important to understand where you both are coming. I remember having a conversation with Shane prior to getting married. It was a little uncomfortable because, I mean, nobody wanted that people, it's been a little uncomfortable at first to share your finances, especially if you're not coming with a whole heap of savings and more debt, which was my case, unfortunately. Saving wasn't my thing. So, but Shane was so reassuring. He did say, what, why are you worried about it? Your debt is not going to become my debt, and we work towards, start helping that issue.
Yeah, so just to piggyback off of my lovely wife, of course.
Oh,
Definitely having that conversation before is important, we would say, because, again, when you become married, two people become one. And, I think like in any marriage, you have to develop your financial strategy going forward. And, trying to understand going forward, when you look at whether it's a house or a car that you're going to get, you have to understand who might be in a better position currently to get that loan, to get the better rates, etc. Qualify for that loan, or even in terms of savings as well, too, who might be in a better position to save. And it's just something that, helps you plan better.
yeah.
And I think once you're transparent with somebody, it sets a good foundation going forward. I mean, you may have bad spending habits, but it's something you can work over time,
With supports.
with support. And, it's just part of the process as well, too,
Yeah.
as two become one.
I agree completely. Transparency is definitely key. It's always good to have, those discussions to know pretty much what you're getting into as well. So I really want to find out from you. I know you had similar money management techniques growing up, and thinking about what something I came across. Steve Harvey was talking about having separate accounts, having a joint account as well. So it's not, pretty straightforward. It depends on the couple, depends on your financial goals, etc. But based on your money management techniques, do you guys have a combined account? Do you have a separate account? How does it work as it relates to managing money for you as a couple?
So can I go
Of
ahead,
course,
please?
baby.
All right. So I mean, in terms of right now, we have separate and joint accounts. I think having separate accounts, it doesn't say we're hiding anything because she has access to my account. I have
I have
access.
access to his.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
we
vice
both have
versa. Yeah.
access to both of our accounts, and
Mm-hmm.
it creates, I guess, a level of openness as well too with each other. A level of transparency, and you still feel like you have control over whatever money you had before coming into marriage. Definitely, in terms of going forward, we have set up, joint accounts, especially if you're looking at potential investments that we're looking at, where we both, try to put in together, build together, and we're trying to build together going forward. And I think that that's the approach, definitely in terms of moving forward with the whole concept of separate and joint accounts. I mean, if God forbid, but if anything happens to me, my benefactor is my wife, and vice versa, going forward. So I think it still gives you that openness, but you still have that, I guess, security as well too,
Yeah.
and control. Sometimes you need when coming into a marriage, and when two people try to become one as well too. Now, what worked for us mightn't work for
Yeah.
everybody else, but based on our experience, it has been good so far.
And I think to your point, Shane, just to add Jade, we may have separate things. So couples may go into a marriage with a separate account and may go in and do something together at some point. But I think the point of never know what's going to happen to your partner, and having
True.
access to their information, their funds, it's very detrimental, and it's something that you have to weigh the odds. Like you can't take it for granted, to be honest, that we're all going to be here and healthy every day of our lives. You really never know what can happen, and it's very important to at least have access, or have you access to, if you don't have access, at least have the information that you couldn't get access to your partner's finances if needed.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. I think that's some good advice to young couples out there looking to get married and to make that big step, to tie that knot and to incorporate all of, this gems that you're giving us. So guys, my next question to you, pretty much to get a sense of, your unique individual, and you clearly would have rubbed off on each other in terms of influencing each other's various techniques, money management techniques or styles of saving, investing, whatnot. Is there anything in particular that, Adanna, maybe you would have never done before, but Shane has introduced to you now, and now this is your thing, or perhaps vice versa? Has that happened for you guys?
Definitely. Remember, I wasn't a saver, right? So now it's just amazing. I feel so proud of myself. Like, I never thought of myself to be such a person that's so invested in investing and growing my savings and so on. So that definitely has rubbed off on me. I must say it was not an easy journey. Shane was behind me, constantly reminding me. He actually helped me put systems in place that I didn't have to remember every month you put this towards this savings goal. You put systems in place that I didn't have to worry about it or think about it. So he has really helped me tremendously in that area. And I'm like, why didn't I do this 20 years ago? So it has been a great journey because of, what I've learned from him in that area.
And well, I think, being a saver, Adanna has encouraged me to also spend at times to be, in terms of, letting go, life too short. And sometimes, you could prioritize memories over savings. Not all the time, of course, but, there'll be instances where you celebrate the small wins, the milestones in life, and I think that is something I always take with me as well too, on that journey. At the end of the day, God forbid, but if anything happens to you, you could look back and say that you were able to capitalize on certain moments and live a little bit. And I think that is part of the process as well too, in terms of the whole saving aspect of it, because it's saving to really live as well too, and enjoy life. I think that's the whole process of why you would to earn money to begin with. So
yeah,
that is true, because balance is key. You save some, spend some, have those memories.
Spend more. Don't know, bad advice.
I mean, it depends on what it is.
Exactly.
It depends on what you're buying, your financial goals really. So everybody is different. So you guys have been married for approximately 2 years now. Is there anything that you would change in terms of how you manage money, how you would have spent, maybe some investments, anything you would have done differently when you first initially got married, right at the start? Anything you would change, or was it smooth sailing for you guys?
So I guess I'll go first. When we got married, it was actually during COVID. So, in terms of how financial markets perform and investments as well too, it was very volatile. And I think what I would say is that I wouldn't have changed anything, because I think having Adanna as a wife and a partner, and having somebody having open conversations and working with you helps a lot to adapt to the new norm as well. And I think that's why I would always say, for that period, I wouldn't change anything. I think we got the most value that we could have during that period. And it's a journey, it's a journey like anything in life. And we survived one season, and we're entering a new season as well too. And we're just grateful for everything that we have done together as well.
Yeah, for me, I don't think I would change anything per se. Again, getting into the marriage with Shane, it did change a lot of how I view money and saving and investing, etc. But what I would say I would like to probably do more of is budgeting. We did start a lot of budgeting when we first got married. Now it's kind of like, going as it goes, kind of you get a rhythm. But I think for me, I really want to start putting pen to paper a bit more for budgeting. It really does help visualizing where your money is going and how it's coming in. So I would say that's something I want to be more consistent with going forward.
And I love that, maybe you grew up one way, but then you get into your marriage and you've picked up a couple skills from someone else. And, I love that.
Yes.
So I want to find out from you. This is something we've been asking our guests for every episode. What are your views of financial freedom? What does it mean to you?
For me, it definitely means having more assets and equity than debt and liabilities, definitely. But for me, what's really important is having the means to do the things I love, the people I love, and, creating memories. And, and even because a lot of us at this stage in our lives, we take care of a lot of our family members. So we really just be able to consistently support them as well and, go after our goals and not have to worry about any financial constraints. So that's financial freedom to me.
Yeah, and just to again piggy off of my lovely wife again,
Oh my gosh.
I like to say,
do you want a prize at the end?
you know,
I love it.
financial freedom is really doing what you want when you want, however you want to do it, without any kind of recourse or worry. And I think over time, we're hoping to achieve that at some point, hopefully before retirement as well. Too.
Yeah.
A lot of people wait till retirement, and we have seen that sometimes that might not be the best strategy. And it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. Yeah, but that's how I also view financial freedom. And when we win, everybody wins as well too. I see that as well going forward as well.
And for me, just adding in my bit, financial freedom for me is just being able to spend my time how I please, go wherever I want, when I want, and not be tied down to a particular, I guess, job function, and just live life.
Freedom.
We agree.
Yeah,
correct.
Yes,
freedom.
Yes.
That is correct. So guys, is there anything you like to indulge in, perhaps individually, or do you do it together? Maybe something that, I don't know, maybe you like to go together and have a nice meal, or perhaps you like to do something fun together. What is your indulgence as a couple or individually?
I want to hear Shane's response to this before I answer.
Well, that surprise you?
I mean, in terms of getting and doing things together, definitely we like to travel. We like to eat out as well too together and spend that time together. And it could be something. It ought to be a fancy restaurant. I might take Davy for doubles, and she'll be happy. I'm not sure if you know about Davy and the Green Shed.
I can see the light in her eyes.
Love.
Yeah, with love. But I think that's what we like to spend time with each other. And as much as we like to play, I think we're also at a stage where we will strategize as well too, and have meetings. Like both of us, I actually have a whiteboard, and I would draw things on it for her.
You need to mention there's 2 whiteboards, and sometimes we find their way into the bedroom. Last night I was like, this is our sanctuary. Please, back into the office.
But again, yeah, we definitely at a point, where we're each other's best friends, and and it's very important as well
sweet.
too.
Yeah.
It's for better, for worse, rich or poor, etc. And again, it's when two become one, and I think we hold that very important in our hearts.
So I'm happy to hear your answers. So those are my answers as well. Definitely traveling, creating experiences, memories, food, and it doesn't even have to be extravagant. Just having moments with Shane is really fun to me. A long drive, getting some, special to drinks and some food is perfect. My type of day.
So once you guys are together, you're going to have a fun time. Is what it sounds like.
Exactly.
I love that. Okay, so I want to find out from you if you have any advice for persons perhaps now looking to get married, or even for couples that are still in that honeymoon phase of their marriage in terms of finances. Give them some tips, guys.
For me, I would say definitely being very transparent. I know it's very cliche to say communicate, but actually being in a marriage now, you see how important it is, and it may just be one word, but it's so important. Don't be afraid to let persons know what you're coming into the marriage with. I think it's really important for them to know what you're coming with. And as Shane said, you need to know so you can plan ahead. And even you may be like, for me, being so transparent, Shane, he was able to support me and get me to where I wanted to go and where I wanted to be financially. So I would say definitely communicate, be transparent, don't be afraid. I mean, I think if you trust your partner, you're going to a marriage with trust, hopefully, right? So I think you should be able to trust your partner with, to support you and understand where you're coming with your finances. I'm not sure if you have anything to add.
Yeah, so like in terms of adding, I think doing the research. There's a lot of opportunities out there. There are a lot of opportunities out there, I should say. And, doing the research to really understand where you could probably get the most value for your money. Definitely, doing research online, YouTube, podcasts,
Yeah.
and, explore different options because I think we live in a world where putting your money in the bank is probably not always the best. Like, you should have some there, but you should also understand what risks that you could take and explore, the opportunities to grow your money based on whatever risk factor you are in whatever stage of
Mm-hmm.
life that you are in.
Very important.
One
Yeah.
other thing I'll also add is like having systems in place. So, for instance, probably something simple like setting up a standing order
Yeah.
where every month when you receive a salary, a certain portion goes into either investment
Or
account or
savings.
savings
Mm-hmm.
account. And that way, before you do
Okay.
anything with your money, a certain amount is put aside and it shouldn't be easily touched,
Yeah.
as part of your fund for either saving or investing. So I think that those will be like the two top advice that I would give people, apart from what my lovely wife also
Yeah,
mentioned as
I
well too.
swear.
So, but yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
Well, thank you for that bit of advice for our newlyweds out there listening in to our conversation or those looking to get married. So guys, we're here at the end of our episode. And I would like to say thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for sharing your experience as it relates to finances and your relationship. Guys, it was a great pleasure. Thank you so much.
Bye.
And
Will
you
do.
guys
Take
take
care.
care.
You too.
And until next
Bye.
time. Okay, bye-bye.